I am extremely happy right now. After watching the show SpongeBob suffer for several years due to its writing quality falling downhill, I can gladly say they have finally made something that is as high quality as an old episode from season 1 through 3. And it's not just an episode, but an entire movie. When I initially saw the previews for this movie, I thought it looked interesting. All of a sudden, our favorite aquatic characters were animated in three-dimensional models. I thought it would probably just be a cruddy cash grab movie with a dumb gimmick that was supposed to only appeal to the newer SpongeBob fans. Then after doing a little research with this movie, I found this out. The original creator of SpongeBob was helping out with this movie. You know, the guy that when he left the series went downhill? Yeah, that guy. He was working on this movie. Could this mean that the movie might have the same quality as the old episodes? Well, now that I have finally seen the movie, I can happily say yes. Admittedly, this movie didn't feel completely like an old episode, as I did notice some qualities of new SpongeBob, but it seemed like a pretty good compromise between old and new SpongeBob. The quality of the jokes were just as high as the old episodes, but the pacing is as fast as the new episodes. And also, the personality of the characters reflect the way they are in the post-season 3 episodes. Unlike the old episodes where SpongeBob is a naive, happy-go-lucky child in an adult's body, in this movie, he is extremely hyperactive with energy, high-pitched noises, and all that I've come to dislike in the new episodes. Mr. Krabs is even more greedy than he was in the old episodes, taking extreme measures that he wouldn't have even taken back then just to make money. Squidward's snarkiness is amplified to an even bigger degree. So yeah, it's all those qualities of the characters that I don't like the new episodes for having. However, that being said, this movie manages to make them work. For example, take SpongeBob's laugh. It's become one of the most hated things about the new episodes, as they really overuse it and make it even more annoying than it's ever been.
It's not that funny! Please make it stop!
That being said, this movie makes an extremely hilarious joke about it that makes me laugh and not feel annoyed. It's really an awesome balance. It's not completely old SpongeBob, but it's not completely new SpongeBob either. And again, I prefer the old style overall, but this style still really works. Another thing about this movie is it adds quite a bit of surreal humor that you wouldn't expect from the old episodes or even the new ones. So some fans of the old episodes may not like that, and while I'm not the biggest fan of it myself, it didn't really bother me that much. There's also quite a bit of puns, so prepare yourself for that, but even then, they somehow managed to make it not too annoying. It's just kind of something that's there. I don't want to give any of them away, so I won't say what they are, but there are some extremely awesome throwbacks to the old episodes in the movie. Let's just say they bring back a certain running joke that disappeared from the show over time, and Patrick even says a line that references a classic old episode. Also, there's a lot of little details that I feel like the new episodes lost that the old episodes had that this movie brought back. Like, for example, the background music. The old episodes, most of the music was Hawaiian themed, and while the new episodes do that, sometimes I felt like they didn't do it that much. This movie brings it back, and hearing it just made me feel like a kid all over again. I loved it. The only thing that might be a little bit of a disappointment for people that were looking for this movie is that the majority of it is not live action and CG. So that was basically the trailers, kind of, in a way, doing a little false advertisement. Yeah, that's incredibly annoying, but I've come to expect that stuff with Nickelodeon. I mean, look at the Mystery with the Twistery episode. The episode had nothing to do with what the trailers made it look like. The episode wasn't a mystery parody, it was just some generic Plankton SpongeBob episode that happened to have a train. But I'm getting off subject, let's get back on. If anything, I almost feel like the movie was trying to keep the live-action CG part a surprise, like it would be a humorous climax to the movie. But then when the people that wanted to make the trailer saw that part, they're like, you know what, let's exploit that and make that the main selling factor. So, yeah, not only was it misleading, but I feel like it kind of killed what could have been a really funny surprise. But either way, I still thought it was really funny when they came out of the water. I thought I wasn't going to like that part, but to my surprise, I did. It seems like trailers these days always make good comedies never look as good as they actually are. So I guess I gotta start wrapping things up. Do I think every joke in this movie works? No. I think there are some that definitely kind of made me cringe a bit, but since the pacing's a lot faster than the old episodes, it does kind of make up for it in some ways, because if there's a joke you didn't like, well, they move on to a new one. They don't stay on one joke for too long, which, for this type of movie, I think works out. Does it replicate the old SpongeBob perfectly? No, but it at least keeps things going, so if you don't like a joke, well, we've moved on, and there's going to be another funny one coming up. So I'm kind of talking about my opinion on details, but what do I think of the movie as a whole? Well, compared to the first SpongeBob movie, I think it is funnier than it. I laughed a lot more than I did in the first movie. I think the plot of the first one's a little better, this one feels a little disjointed, but the jokes more than make up for it. And overall, I think it's a sign that SpongeBob is finally going to be good again. Do I think it's as funny as something like Pancakes or Krusty Krab Pizza? No, but it is really close, and I really appreciate the movie as a whole. Overall, if you're a SpongeBob fan, at least give it a try. I can't guarantee if you'll love it or not, because I know a few that didn't love it too much, but personally, I did, and I think the series is heading in the right direction again. Although I will say the movie could have done without some of the internet references. The epic rap battle at the end was completely pointless. I mean, maybe if it involved characters in the show, it would at least feel a little bit like it had a purpose, but it was two characters that the movie made up, so why was that there? That had nothing to do with the movie. It was just a random epic rap battle thrown in just to reference something on the internet. Stupid. But despite that, I thought it was a pretty awesome movie. Check it out, and yes, I think SpongeBob is finally on the right track again. This is Mr. Broccoli, thanks for watching, and goodbye. And go check out the movie if you haven't already.